Shalom Aleichem, and welcome back to Practical Hilchos Lashon Harah. So yesterday, I had a really interesting situation which prompted the following halachic discussion. Someone reached out to me over WhatsApp and basically started speaking negatively about someone who I had been associated with once. Now, first off, the substance of the critique to me didn't seem very convincing. But more fundamentally, immediately my question was, isn't this Lashon Harah? Like, why am I being exposed to this negative speech? What's the goal? What's the purpose? Now, the response that I got was, no, this person did this thing wrong and was doing that thing wrong. But that brought me to the question again. Just because someone did something wrong, does that mean it's okay to speak Lashon Harah about them? And under what circumstances is it permitted to speak Lashon Harah or negative speech about someone? So it comes down to the following. The Chavetz Chaim, chapter 8, Seif 5, writes the following. If someone is considered a Rasha, still there needs to be a to'elis. A to'elis means a purpose behind speaking negatively about that person. So let's break down those two categories. First of all, what's a Rasha? A Rasha, the Chavetz Chaim defines as someone who removes himself from the category of amitecha, of your nation, which the Isser of Lashon Harah is only on someone who's part of your amitecha. That means someone who deliberately sins in a sin that's well known in a public fashion. So that's not an easy category to reach. Many people sin once in a while because they give in to their desires. That doesn't necessarily mean they're a Rasha. A Rasha would not be someone who, had a taiva once and messed up. A Rasha means someone who accidentally, purposefully is rebelling against God and Torah and mitzvahs. So, going back to my situation, it seemed pretty clear that this person, first of all, I don't know if this person did anything wrong because, I didn't look into the matter that detailed, but from what I saw, it didn't seem very substantial, the accusations. But in any case, even the accusations were not claiming that this person was purposefully doing something wrong. Rather, one action that happened. So it seemed to me that no matter what, they wouldn't be classified as a Rasha. But more fundamentally, what's the goal? What's the purpose? What is the to'elis that's coming out of me now knowing something negative about this person? Practically speaking, nothing. I have nothing to do with this person. I am not associated with him at all anymore. And so knowing something negative about him has no bearing on my life and will not impact me. It simply makes me color them in a negative way. So to me, there's no to'elis. And that's the chiddush. Even if they're a Rasha, which I don't think they are, but if they were, that doesn't mean you can speak negatively about someone if there's no to'elis. Now, to be more clear, if someone's a public heretic trying to take people against God and Judaism, so there to protect the space of the nation, it might be a praiseworthy thing to get the word out. But that's certainly not the situation with a stam sinner or not sinner, and not in this situation, that's for sure. Even if there was a to'elis, the Lashon Harah has 7 specific categories about when you're allowed to speak Lashon Harah. You have to have first-hand knowledge, for example. Your intention, the Be'er Mayim Chaim explains, must be pure. Can't be doing it out of jealousy or hatred or anything like that. And B'ezrat Hashem, another time we'll go through all the categories, but it seemed pretty clear to me that these criteria were not met, and this was straight up Lashon Harah during the 9 days. And Rav Gladstein explains that the Sinas Chinam really was Lashon Harah. Lashon Harah Rabbeinu Yonah compares it, the Gemara compares it to the 3 cardinal sins during this period of the 9 days. Oy, on the soul of that person. So, anyways, I told that person my opinion, that this is Lashon Harah without Toelis, and Hashem should bless them and all Jewish people to do tshuva, the whole world to do tshuva, and be more careful with our speech and speak positively about each other. And in the zchus of us speaking and looking and thinking positively, may HaKadosh Baruch Hu think positively about us. Again, notwithstanding all that, there are categories, there are situations when we do have an obligation, lo tamid al dam re'echa, not to stand idly by and to protect others, but you have to be very specific. Check with a Rav and know the halacha well before you speak negatively about others. You can't just blanket start speaking negatively about others. That's not how it works. Have a fantastic day. Hope you enjoyed. If you have any thoughts, comments, questions, send me an email or WhatsApp, and I hope you're enjoying these videos.